Hi, this is Brian, and if you found my little corner of the internet, welcome. Essentially, what's going to happen today is I'm going to go through a list of things that have sold over the last 7 days on my eBay store. Essentially, we'll branch this off into Poshmark and Macari, etc. But the point is that with everything going on right now, a lot of folks are out of work. I wanted to somehow help, and I started reselling on eBay when I was broke. So I'm going to show you very simple items that you have laying around the house that are anywhere, everywhere. So follow me. If you have any questions, go ahead, ask those in the comments below, and I will get to them. Again, please pardon me as this first video or two will be fairly rough until I get everything straightened out, but I want to get this content to you. So let's just get started with June 15th. This is everything that sold from last Monday through yesterday. So here we go. The first thing that we have is going to be Beautiful Stories for Ugly Children. It's a comic that a friend of mine just happened to randomly give me because they wanted them out of their house. So I sold it for $7.65. Shipping was free on it. We'll get into shipping in a second. That doesn't normally happen. And there was a discount. Sometimes I will have a discount, just promotion going. Sometimes I will change that sometimes. All the time, if someone's watching the item, I'll send out a offer because you miss every sell that you don't try and get or ask for. So, we'll get into that an entirely different time. Item number 2 is going to be Nightmaster DVD by Nicole Kidman. I picked this up at my local DVD store for about $1. If I got it on special, it is actually 50 cents. So everyday DVDs sell. It's just things you haven't heard of, things that you can't find on streaming. Those are the things that are actually going to move for you. If it's very popular, everyone has one. It was mass produced. Nightmaster, Nicole Kidman, never heard of it. Number 3, Metal Gear Solid 4, and I need to stop counting these because I'm not going to remember where I'm at. Metal Gear Solid 4, Sony PlayStation 3. Something you're going to find on this channel is that I sell things that seem to have a lot sold on eBay. For instance, I sell Madden Games. Madden Games shouldn't sell, but they do. So my point is get the item listed, and it'll sell, or at least it has a chance of selling. If it's not listed, it can't sell. So sold this 15% off. This all looked like a promotion that I had going that day. They pay for shipping. Generally speaking, I do not pay for shipping. But again, we'll get into that in a separate video, separate time. If you have a direct question about it, just go ahead and ask. Next, Passage Maker, March 2018, Caribbean Comeback. It's a cruise magazine that I found at the free section somewhere. At any rate, yes, magazines sell all the time. Shipping $7.50. Next, we have a Bugs Life DVD. We sold that for $4.25 with 15% off. That actually moved fairly quickly. I think I had that listed for less than a day, and it sold. So there you go. Right now, with a lot of folks transitioning to homeschooling, things of that nature, a lot of educational materials are going to be needed out there, so get those up on your store. Right here is a classroom presentation tool. The purchaser did have some questions about whether or not it worked because I hadn't tested it. I did say that I would accept a return on it. So we'll see what happens, but I'm fairly sure that it probably works, as a lot of computer media, even if it is scratched up, tends to work. Next, PlayStation 2, Jax 2, sold for $6 straight up, $5.30 shipping. Raise the Red Lantern ballet drama. Here's what I'm talking about. Sold for $23. Who's heard of this? I mean, I know it's a popular ballet, but, you know, it's not something that you're going to see, or at least I haven't seen, streaming on Netflix or Hulu. So, you know, there's a niche for every single thing that is sold. And I'll get into my background in sales, blah, 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 later. But at the end of the day, if it's been sold once, it will sell a second time. Third, classic, Dukes of Hazzard. This is actually my very first Dukes of Hazzard sale. I used to love Dukes of Hazzard as a kid, so I was just super stoked to come across this DVD. Got this for $2, I believe, at a store. Little overpaid, but you know it's gonna go for $6. So next, we also have another DVD. PBS DVDs generally do fairly well. Sold that for $7. Have no idea what it is. Caterpillar Company lapel pin. I have actually had this thing for maybe 2 or 3 years, been trying to sell it, so not a fast mover, but it did go at $7.20, and I did do that at a promotional discount. Again, they paid for shipping. Your pins, Flare, as it's called in what is that, Office Space? Flare, as it's called. All that stuff is good stuff just to have in your store, because I call it a little slot machine, and eBay likes when you put things in the slot machine. So if you get yourself a little bag of pens, 100 pens for $10, some of them are going to sell, some of them aren't, but once they're listed, it's very little maintenance. Next, and we're coming up towards the end, Mental Floss magazine. Very popular magazine. I've sold a couple of them now. I have no idea what it is, but people do tend to like it. Sold it at the 10% discount. Must have been the same day. Clairsonic replacement brush head for sensitive skin. No explanation needed. Did it 10% off. And then the last thing we sold here was a Reebok Hero Strappy Bra. Lavender. Sold it at $17.10 plus shipping. And we had it for, I had it for a little while. Probably over 6 months. It wasn't priced appropriately, as some would say, but it did eventually sell, and I had this cross-listed on both Poshmark and YouTube. So these are the sales for the last 7 days, give or take. And, you know, it's been a slower 7 days, but these days you just don't know what you're going to get. Some days are going to be really good. Some days aren't going to be really good. A lot of folks' schedules are off. So thank you for jumping into this channel. If you have any questions, go ahead, ask in the comments. I'm going to be putting these out once a week. May go further, may not. The point is that everything sells. You can list 50 free items on eBay every single month. Doesn't cost you a dime. If they pay shipping, doesn't cost you a dime. All you literally have to do is sign up for eBay. I am not being promoted by eBay, but eBay does help me out quite a bit. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask, and I hope to hear from you. Hope everything's going well, and best to you and yours going forward into this next week. Have a good one.